Welcome to my channel. It says JC Rock and Metal Reviews. My name is John, and today I will be ranking the albums by the band Styx. I have 16 studio albums, so before I begin, if you're new to this channel and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I do rock and metal reviews, rankings, and more. So I'm not going to waste any time. We have 16 albums. I don't want this video to be that long, so I'm going to jump right into it. Coming at number 16, Edge of the Century from 1990. This was a follow-up to Kilroy Was Here. This one is when Tommy Shaw left the band, he went to play in Damn Yankees. And the band kind of went in like a different direction. It's almost like the band was kind of like different. They did have a minor hit with Show Me the Way, but it was okay. It is kind of mostly like that late 80s pop music, a little bit of like hard rock mixed in, but there's really nothing great on this album. Coming in at number 15 is Brave New World from 1999. Now it's kind of strange because the band Iron Maiden, and they released an album of the same title like a year later. And also strange is they both have a song called Fallen Angel, but other than that, it was a step up from Edge of the Century. At this point, Tommy Shaw is back in the band. I think the band didn't really have much focus. It just does kind of have a hard rock feel. Not many songs stand out, but they do get a little experimental with this album, but it's a little step up from the past album, but not that great. Coming in number 14 is Styx from 1972. This is their debut album. This one has Dennis DeYoung in the band. James Young is in the band. It's a good album if you want to like check out their progressive rock roots. They have a first song called Movement for the Common Man. This is a 13-minute long song. I think the album is just like okay, but it's good if you want to like check out their early progressive rock roots, but nothing like super great here. Coming in at number 13 is The Serpent is Rising from 1973. This one is another one of those pretty good progressive rock albums. There's a track called As Bad As This, and it's very like cheesy. It's almost like calypso music, but the rest of it is all like progressive rock. The album ends with like the Hallelujah chorus, and I thought that was kind of strange, but it is pretty cool if you want to check out like their earlier stuff. Coming in at number 12 is Cyclorama from 2003. And this is the first album without Dennis DeYoung, and on this album they brought in Lawrence Gowan. So he's actually the current vocalist. And I think the album is okay. It was a step up from the last one, but it is kind of all over the place. They experiment with a lot of different styles. They have a lot of guests. We have Billy Bob Thornton singing one song. We have Tenacious D doing a skit at the end of the album. Like the album doesn't really have much focus. And this is like their only album with like 4 lead vocalists. And that doesn't even like include the guests. So it's an okay album. Coming in at number 11 is The Mission from 2017. Now, this is when the albums like from here on in are like really great albums. So this is a concept album about a mission to Mars. They're going back to their progressive rock roots in this album. Lots of great songs. Tommy Shaw is in the band. Lawrence Gowan is here. James Young is here. It's a really great concept album, and it's one of those albums you need to like listen to from like start to finish. And it just brings back their progressive rock sound. Coming in number 10 is Man of Miracles from 1974. I think this is a decent album. Straightforward progressive rock. This is one of the better like of their earlier ones. I think the title track called Man of Miracles, written by James Young, it's a really great progressive rock song, and out of all the earlier albums, I think this one has like a lot of good ones on it. Coming in number 9 is Stixx II from 1972, and this is a really big step up from their first album. And this album is also very important. That's probably why I ranked it so high. It does have their first hit called Lady, and that was it was a hit ballad, and I think that was a song that kind of like changed the trajectory of the band. I think if this song like wasn't a big hit, they might have been like a different type of band. But there are a lot of really good songs. They do have some classical music on here. Fugue it was actually called Little Fugue in G. This is a Johann Sebastian Bach song, and a lot of other good songs as well. Coming in number 8 is Equinox from 1975. A really great progressive rock album. This was where they start to incorporate some elements of hard rock. The final song, Sweet Madam Blue, this was written by Dennis DeYoung. It's a really great progressive rock song. There's another song called Lorelei, which was a minor hit, and that's another one of the standout tracks. And I think this is probably one of the better albums from the early 70s. Coming in number 7 is Crash of the Crown from 2021. So this is the new album. I have a full review of it on my channel. I will link it at the end of the video. It's really great. It recreates their like early progressive rock sound. You know, a lot of people like didn't know like they started out as a progressive rock band because, you know, they did become more popular like in the late 70s and 80s. But it's a really great album. I won't say too much about it. I just recommend that you do check out my full review. It's a really solid album, and that's why I have it at number 7. Coming in at number 6 is Crystal Ball from 1976. So this is the first album with Tommy Shaw in the band. They did go in kind of a new direction. They still retain their classic rock and progressive rock sound, but Tommy Shaw does bring in kind of a little bit of a hard rock element as well. And the title track was written by Tommy Shaw called Crystal Ball, and that's a really great ballad. Probably one of their best ballads that like wasn't like a really big hit. But there are a lot of other notable songs, and I definitely recommend this one. Coming in number 5 is Kilroy Was Here from 1983. And this one, they changed their sound a lot. It's very 80s, it's very over the top, it's theatrical, it's cheesy. But I actually like the album. It just has that one song, Mr. Roboto, and I've always loved it ever since I've watched the video back in 1983, on MTV. They have a ballad called Don't Let It End. I thought that was a really good ballad. I think it's just very catchy. They did like a kind of like a metal song called Heavy Metal Poisoning. That was like the one song I didn't like, but the album is very cheesy, and it is also the final album of the classic lineup of Dennis DeYoung, Tommy Shaw, James Young, John Panoso, and Chuck Panoso. I'm up to the top 4 now, so number 4 is Cornerstone from 1979. This was a really big album, and it does have their biggest song like ever, their only number 1 song, and it's called Babe. And I'm pretty sure you know it. It's been played on the radio, on classic rock radio many times. Not one of my favorite ballads. I think they have better ones, but probably my favorite song is Boat on a River. It's kind of like a folk rock song. I thought that was really cool. Another great song called Borrowed Time, and I definitely recommend this album. It just has a lot of popular songs on it. Coming in at number 3 is Paradise Theater from 1981, and this was another really big album. There were lots of hits on this album. It's a progressive rock album, but it does have like a lot of like hard rock on it as well. Side 1 of the record is just really great. You have Rockin' in Paradise, Too Much Time on My Hands, Nothing Ever Goes as Planned, and one of their most popular ballads called The Best of Times. You know, that's a song if you... I know when I did that video with Brian, he was saying that's the song that always gets played at the high school dances. And this is just a solid album, lots of great songs, and I definitely recommend it. Coming in at number 2 is Pieces of 8 from 1978. And this is the follow-up to Grand Illusion, and at this point you know what number 1 is, but it's probably their hardest rocking album. And a lot of great songs. You have Blue Collar Man, Long Nights, and that's a song written by Tommy Shaw, and that's one of my favorites. I think I ranked this number 2 when I did my top 10 list. And it's just a solid, actually side 2 is a lot better than side 1, because you have the song Queen of Spades. That's a really awesome song. You have Renegade. That's like a really standout song. That's like one of their biggest hits. And so many others. So this is a really great album. Coming in number 1 is The Grand Illusion, and if you watched my video with AYB on Main, you knew this was number 1. We kind of like spoiled it at the end. But it has a lot of great songs. Come Sail Away. I've always loved this song, and ever since I saw that South Park episode with Cartman, who always had to finish the song like whenever somebody started singing it, and someone would be like, I'm sailing away. Then he would have to go, come sail away, come sail away, come sail away from me. That's a pretty funny episode. My number 1 Stixx song of all time is Fooling Yourself. Great progressive rock song written by Tommy Shaw. And it's just the song that just like encapsulates like their sound, and it's so awesome. But there are really a lot of great tracks here. We have Miss America, the title track, Grand Illusion. Great Castle Walls, that's a really cool deep cut. And that's why I have it at number 1. So that is it. I tried to keep this quick and just to go through them as quick as I could. So thanks for watching. Comment below. Let me know what you thought of my ranking. What would you have higher? What would you have lower? Or if you want to rank all 16 in the comment section, you're welcome to do that as well. So coming up tomorrow is Friday. I do have some new releases coming up. There's a lot of heavy metal coming. Between the Buried and Me is coming out. Death Haven. George Lynch has a solo album. So I'm going to be listening to all those. I think the thrash metal band Sodom has an EP coming out. So we'll be listening to all of those, and I will decide what I will be reviewing over the weekend. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Here are some other Styx related videos, which I will post right there. And thanks for watching. See you in the next one.